Welcome back. It's Labor Day in the United States, so we'll have a slightly different episode for you today. Grab your favorite cuppa, settle on in, and let's check it out. Let's start by talking about the word labor. Labor can be a noun or a verb. Labor can mean physical or mental effort or work for which one is paid. Workers considered as a group. Labor can mean an expenditure of physical or mental effort, especially when difficult or compulsory. Labor can mean human activity that provides goods and services in an economy. Probably owing to the difficulty and exertion required, labor can also refer to the birthing process. Labor can refer to an economic group of people who do manual labor for work or wages. And then there are definitions involving labor unions and other more specific definitions of the word labor, but I think that's enough to get started with. The word labor comes to us from Middle English, Anglo-French before that, ultimately from Latin, as so many words do. First known use of the word labor is in the 1300s. Labor. And now we're going to talk about Labor Day. Labor Day is a federal holiday in the United States and is celebrated on the first Monday in September of each year. It can happen any time from September 1st to September 7th, depending on which one of those days falls on the first Monday. As a federal holiday, banks, financial institutions, post offices, and so on are closed. So what is Labor Day, and why is it so important that it gets a special holiday? If you look up Labor Day on the internet, you're likely to find the Wikipedia page where they talk a lot about labor unions and trade unions. But I think the real thing here is to recognize the value of workers. Not much gets done around here if somebody's not doing it. I can't think of anyone who doesn't like to be recognized and appreciated for what they do, no matter what it is. The first Labor Day parade was in 1882, and that felt so good that the organizers proposed a special day, the first Monday in September, to celebrate workers of all kinds, Labor Day. Labor Day has been recognized in churches with special services and dedications, and parades and picnics. I'm sure there's been at least one comedian out there who has commented on the irony of celebrating Labor Day by giving workers the day off. So, the first parade, held specifically in honor of laborers, took place in 1882, as I mentioned. 5 years later, in 1887, Oregon became the first state to make it an official public holiday. Other states picked up the trend, and by the time Labor Day became an official federal holiday in 1894, 30 states in the U.S. were already officially celebrating Labor Day. Other countries recognize workers with International Workers' Day. That usually takes place on May 1st. Since Labor Day occurs at the beginning of September, it's often thought of as the unofficial end of summer. Many school districts resume classes somewhere around the Labor Day weekend, either just before, making Labor Day the first 3-day weekend of the school year, or just after, once everyone's home from their vacation and holidays. Retailers also make a big weekend of Labor Day with big splashy sales, and it typically pays off for them pretty well. Many retailers report that it's one of their best-selling periods, second only to Christmas and Black Friday. However much fun we have with Labor Day weekend, whether it's a new mattress at rock-bottom prices or a parade in your favorite town, whether it's a small town or a large one, or a season's end hurrah camping trip to the lake, let us take a moment to remember what it's all about. Everything we enjoy comes to us by the efforts of someone who worked to make it happen. From harvesters in the field that helped get our food to us, auto workers who build the cars we drive, minimum wage hourly workers who work at the stores where we buy things, technical and service workers of all kinds whose efforts contribute to making our life a little easier. Let us recognize and appreciate these folks and what they've done. Maybe you think you're just working for a paycheck, but ultimately, whatever it is that you do, your labor is an act of service to others. Let us reflect on that and appreciate workers and laborers of all kinds everywhere. Now, I was going to let that be it, but I know that some of my viewers really like the song of the day and might feel a little bit shorted if I didn't talk about a song here. So let's talk about the song Working for a Living by Huey Lewis and the News. Written by Huey Lewis and Chris Hayes, this single is included as track 5 on side 1 of their second album, Picture This, released in 1982. Huey Lewis actually wrote this during his time as a truck driver before his music career took off. He's also recorded a duet with Garth Brooks on Garth Brooks' album, The Ultimate Hits, in 2007, and that version was also released as a single. Working for a Living was featured in the 1988 movie Big, starring Tom Hanks, and a cover of it was used as the opening theme of the 1992 Fox sitcom Rachel Gunn, RN. Working for a Living by Huey Lewis and the News, link in the description, and I've also included a link to the version with Garth Brooks if you'd like to compare them. For today's quote, of course, I wanted something that had to do with labor. And we have one sometimes given as a proverb, but it's actually from the Bible, New Testament. Of course, there are many, many versions or interpretations of the Bible itself, so there are many ways that you might have heard this, but I'll give it like this. The laborer is worthy of his hire. Luke 10:7. All righty, y'all take care. Be good to each other. I'll see you next time. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlists in the description. You can find me on BitChute, Facebook, Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and X, as well as on a blog page called No Really. No Really. No, really. Consider following my Day in History page on Facebook if you're on Facebook. I also have a Patreon account now, or you can buy me a coffee. All those links are in the description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.